Hi everybody. Hello. Hi. What are you doing? I hope you are somehow making good use of the time that we have in our homes. It's scary out there, so I hope you are staying safe. I thought let me just do like a quick an impromptu one. You know, I love surprises. Hi. I think it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Okay, I'm so done just sitting and doing nothing. So I'm just gonna celebrate my life and say hi to you guys. Ask me any question you want. Thank you very much. I'm in a very bright spot of my house, so I just figured let's just upsize it a bit. Hi Dumisani, hi Lexi, hi Joy. How you guys doing? So I've been really bored. I've been so bored. I think I'm so completely over this lockdown. But you know, I fully appreciate why we are here, but it's becoming increasingly difficult even to go out there, you know. I haven't left my house in, I think maybe over 100 days. I don't even know what day of lockdown we're in. Am I feeling nervous in Joburg at the moment with the current surge in numbers? Listen, it's a worrying thing, but it's expected, you know. We should have expected it. In fact, I don't even think we've reached our peak yet. And they did say, you know, when around lockdown, that probably our peak will be September, October. So, worrying, yes, of course, we all should worry. But worry that, you know, we are moved to stay safe and stay home as much as we can. So many people are testing positive for COVID-19, you know, and thankfully more than 50% of positive cases have recovered. So, and we still have a very low death rate, but still any death is a death too much. So yeah. But I mean, listen, these kids were supposed to go back to school on Monday, so on Thursday, we decided that it's just best to just stay at home, just to, you know, minimize the risk. The lockdown got us listening to you and feeling so blessed. Thank you very much. Somebody said it's not even 12 o'clock. Whose rules are those? I have champagne when I want to have champagne, as long as there's food in my tummy. Okay, let's see. Let me take another question. Fire away. But yeah, it is a worrying time. I'm, you know, even people who want to meet with me, I'm like, no, why do you want to meet? Stay home, stay safe, you know. I mean, we've had, even at the office, unfortunately, not everyone can work from home, and the people really need, you know, infrastructure. So, you know, we've had to spray the offices just so that, you know, you just try and stay ahead of the virus if there's such a thing. But we're doing our best. So I hope you guys are also doing the same, just trying your best to stay safe. I really am completely over it, honestly. I'm so done with it. And I just think because I was supposed to be on vacation as well, I'm just feeling a bit, you know. Yeah, so I've had to figure out what to do with my July. So the one who's saying it's not even 12 o'clock yet and I'm having champagne, just know that I would have been somewhere where I think, okay, well, the time difference would have been the same, time zone is the same, but still, my life, my rules. Cheers. And you guys do drink champagne anyway, you dose it with orange juice. I don't understand that, by the way. Mimosas, I just don't get them. Why would you do that? I'm such a purist. You either drink champagne or you drink orange juice. Take a pick. Don't mix the two. But I understand that for people, it makes them feel like they're not drinking early in the morning. Yeah, anyway. Oh no, I'm not even worried at all, Lexi. It's just funny that there are these rules that we confine ourselves to. What if I drop dead from COVID-19 in the next minute and I really wanted to have a glass of champagne? So I can't act like I've got tomorrow, I've got the next morning, so I take it now. Amanda, what supplements are you using for your family since the pandemic? Listen, we haven't really done anything beyond what we always do, which is we're constantly on vitamin C. Like in this house, there's a pile of lemons every single day on the island. That's what we dig into every day. Kids take Calcivita, take immune boosters for children. So yeah, and above everything else, we just eat healthy food. So lots of green vegetables, lots of carrots, tomatoes, you name it. I opened red wine to cook oxtail. Most of it ended in my tummy. Yeah, what are we supposed to do anyway now? I mean, when you say whose rules are those, who's the judge of sense? Exactly, right? So yeah, no, listen, I try to make sure that I'm not a big believer in supplements and those vitamins you buy, so I've never actually taken them. The one time I took some, a friend of mine gave me those liver supplement things, and I was like, okay, I'll try them. But I just get nutrition directly from the source, so good vegetables and good fruits, and just keep the food healthy and cook in a very healthy manner. So, and we're not sickly in this house. We never get sick because we actually do the things, and we drink lots of water. We do the things that actually matter. So yeah. Let me see. What's that? Sorry. I'm at a spot where there's a bit of traffic. Do you like playing board games? There are some great ones. Yeah, we actually like playing 30 seconds and card games. But one of the things we love to do is general knowledge, quizzing the kids. Yeah. We also like we like to. Okay, I'm gonna have to move from this spot. My husband is making a racket here. So yeah, we do quite a lot as a family. So we'll play games. There's chess. We've played Monopoly before, but I don't think they enjoyed it very much, or maybe I didn't. So I don't know. Yeah, let me close myself in my office. Oops. So yeah, ask me another question. Give me a good one there. Good one. Let's see. But listen, on the topic of staying healthy, it's important that you watch what you eat, your nutrition, and what you get into your system, and what you get into your children's system, because ultimately, if you don't do that, you open yourself up to sicknesses. So people who believe in vitamins and things like that, taking vitamins and supplements, if that works for you, great. But one of the things that we do a lot of, I've got a fridge full of cold pressed juices. So I won't mention brands, but multiple different brands that I buy, where it's either carrot and ginger and multiple different vegetables, fruits, but yeah, everything has to be on the healthy side. How it's prepared must be healthy. Yeah, so and exercise and lots of water, guys. And actually, you know what? Just mind your own business and never mind people. So yeah, that's how we stay healthy in this house. Thank you. My glasses are to die for. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of ginger shots too. That's kind of like what we live on in this house. So I don't buy a lot of fizzy drinks, except like apple cider. But on the other side, it's just juices. Hey Amanda, since you haven't been out in more than 100 days, do you buy groceries online? Yes, I use Zulzi a lot, like a lot. I must be one of their top client, top customer. I have been using them though for quite a while, even before lockdown. And they're quite reliable, you know. I mean, really on the whole, I'm quite happy with the experience, and they usually deliver within the hour. What's on the lunch menu today? Roast lamb, a leg of lamb with roast potatoes, some broccoli, asparagus, mushrooms. Yeah, and my husband bought chia butter this morning. I usually bake the bread myself, but I'm not baking today. Clearly, I don't feel like it. And he's cooking lunch today. Yeah, so did you cook any dish that you've never cooked? Please share which one it is. I can't think of it now that I've never cooked. No, I've never. I can't think of it now. Listen, I'm always challenging myself as a cook, so I cook from instinct, so I don't cook from recipes or anything. As a result, you know, when people come to my house and they taste my food, then they're like, "Oh, please, can you give me the recipe?" The truth is that I don't do recipes. So I always say to people, if you want a recipe, you need to come and watch me cook and take your own notes. So, and that's what happens now with my kids. They watch me cook, and you know, and they make note of what I do, what I mix up, and then they try it out. I'm blessed to have kids that actually like to cook, but they bake so well. I once tried meringues, in fact. I tried baking meringues. Oh, what a disaster. But my kids did it like it was, you know, nothing. And they know how to follow recipes. I just get impatient with reading recipes. Yeah, but I do like to try different things. And, you know, I think like in life, you must push yourself hard, you know, try new things, try things that ordinarily you think shouldn't go together, and you'll be amazed at what happens. As long as there's flavor, guys, that's all I say. If you can season and balance the flavors, then you can cook. The problem is that people can't quite balance their flavors. Let's see. Amanda, have you ever had your teeth done? They look amazing. No, I've never had my teeth done. I remember very well when I moved to Joburg. My mom was an orthodontist nurse. Well, she's a retired orthodontist nurse. And the first thing she said to me was, my teeth aren't aligned. So my bite is not like that. So when I bite, I have like a little gap. And orthodontists and nurses and orthodontic nurses, that for them is like, oh my gosh, your teeth need to be fixed. So she said I must put on braces. I was like, nope, I think I'm perfectly fine. So no, I've never had any work done. Thank God I didn't need to. Even though my mom felt like I needed it, but I don't think so. I also love my teeth. Thank you. That's the best way to cook, from instinct. Yeah, I actually. Listen, I think I am also gifted in the sense that I'm quite passionate about it. So I know a lot of people struggle. Some people really would like to cook. Let me tell you, Carol can cook. She's gonna die. She can cook. What kind of a person cooks chicken like Ale King in 2020? I don't even think it tasted nice. So there are people who love cooking, but it doesn't come naturally. For me, it comes completely naturally. So yeah, your house looks exquisite. Thank you very much. Took quite a lot of work to get it here. You know, we bought a house that was a complete. Yeah, it was completely run down. There was no reason why we wanted to buy it, but you know, I'm a big vision person, so I see beyond, you know, what is on the surface. And I always say, because it doesn't shine doesn't mean it doesn't have value. So, but it was, I mean, this house and I were meant to find each other, because I remember very well, we had just moved back from Cape Town. We lived in Cape Town for a short period. And we moved back to Joburg, and we were looking for places, and, we didn't want a cluster. We didn't want, anything in a complex. We wanted the space, we wanted a garden. And it was very difficult to find something that matched our requirements and that was quite reasonably priced or within our budget. And we looked and looked. I think by the time we had hit, 4 months, my husband was just like, okay, let's just leave it. Let's stop looking. And I said, okay. I think I must have stopped for literally a week. And I was back at it. And I found this house, and literally, the picture that they had used to advertise it just wasn't appealing, but there was something about it. The location was perfect. The size was perfect. When you've got location right and size right, then, and I say size of the plot, because you can fix a house. A house is just bricks, and you can break that down and rebuild it. So yeah, I just think we were meant to be together. Putting recipes together. No, I don't like admin. I really don't like admin. And maybe when my kids when they're a little more patient, actually maybe I should pitch that idea to them. When I cook, they take the recipe down and they write it down, but I cook quite a lot, and we are always around the island, and I'm always cooking. My husband actually, thank God for this lockdown, because he's now cooked even more than he used to before. I absolutely love how you don't conform to any standards. You're so comfortable with yourself. I want this kind of self-mastery. Thank you so much. It came with great investment in myself, and just embracing who I am, embracing where I've come from. But I think one of the simplest ways I say, the simplest thing I can say to people is that, we're all gonna die, right? So someday you wake up and your life would have ended, or your life ends. So let's assume you're literally on your deathbed. I think about, what are the things that I'll be thinking about then? What will I think matters or mattered in my life? And I doubt that trying to please others and trying to conform will be at the top of my list. And in fact, it won't be on that list at all. So I always live my life with this idea that I will not have tomorrow, and that, in fact, if I have tomorrow, it's a gift. So the moment I have is now, and how can I best live my life? And if I dropped dead now, how would I feel? Would I be proud of the life I've built, of how I've lived my life? Because understanding that we as human beings, we're so arrogant. We think that we've got tomorrow. We think tomorrow is guaranteed. It's not it's a human arrogance thing. But somebody else can say it's actually a hope thing. I'm saying, unfortunately, we like to put a lot of things to tomorrow, put them out till, when I am. But the truth is that you may never get there. So yeah, there's only one life for me to live. So, this is it. And I have got to savor it, because I know I only have one life. So yeah, let's see. How did I meet my husband? Read my book. Read Baked in Pain. I write about that. Truly always inspired by you and how you've gone through life. Thank you very much. Hi, Gugu. Hi, guys. So yeah, I think, listen, the concept of authenticity is I think a lot of people just go with the wind, because often when your foundation is not strong, think of the analogy of a house. If the foundation is not strong, or it's got cracks, the structure itself is not going to survive. So So it's very important to have the right foundation. And the right foundation comes when you have confronted what is sitting inside of you, where you've come from, and you know what it is that you still need to be working on to make sure that that foundation is solid. When the foundation is solid, you have no need to be, you know, trying to be anybody else or trying to copy anybody else, because you appreciate your own journey. You appreciate where you've come from, but you really appreciate where you're going as well with your life. So it makes it so much easier to be authentic when it's actually automatic. It's a byproduct of understanding what your foundation is like, and what you still need to do to make sure that you've strengthened the foundation. So absolutely, I mean, live for today. Yeah, because there's no tomorrow. I mean, none of us know if we're going to have tomorrow. People who have died thought they had tomorrow. They didn't even know they were going to have tomorrow, but they assumed they had tomorrow. So do the things that you want to do, so that when you are on your deathbed, you don't have regrets. And you know what? I think it's the best way to honor and glorify God is to live a life of truth. You know, a life of just embracing who you are with your own faults, whatever those faults are. I don't look at faults. I'm just like, yo, I'm fabulous. The world already magnifies my faults, so I won't double the effort. Let them carry on. But me, I'm like, yeah, no, you go, girl. Because we like to, and I think in a way we are socialized to always look on the negative side, to always look at what's wrong with us, to always look at what we don't have, look at, you know, what you haven't yet achieved. What about everything else that you have achieved? So, you know, I always say just appreciate that you are a whole human being. But the moment you start to focus on all of the things that you don't do well, or the things that you don't have, or the things that you're not, you completely miss the opportunity in the things that you already do well, the things that you are, and the things that that are really just God-given. Where do you draw the line then from looking up to people and being authentic? No, you can look up to people. You can find a lot of inspiration in people's lives. And that has nothing to do with being authentic. I mean, it's not like the two can't exist together. They're not mutually exclusive. Authentic is you living your life according to what you believe is your best intent and your best effort. It's understanding that you can be inspired by people, but ultimately their journeys are different from yours, and you will live your truth and your life the way you want to live it. You are not authentic when you're trying to be something that you're not, when you're trying to fake a life that you don't have, when you're trying to copy others, learn from others, but customize it for your own life. Because honestly, if there was a single template for success, we all would be using it, or we all would be having the same lives, but we don't. And our starting points are different. Our journeys are different. So it's being true to your journey and being authentic with what you have and what you're feeling inside and where you're going. Stay motivated, stay encouraged, absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, but don't try to be like other people. Try to learn from what they've done and apply it to your life so that you can then improve yours, whatever your improvement is. Having had this time of reflection during lockdown, what are some of the things or places or countries on the very top of your list? Well, I was meant to be in Greece and Turkey as we speak. So, yeah, that's where I'm going next time, the moment we can travel, because I book all my trips, 7 months in advance. So for July, because July is school holidays, so we're always going to go away around that time, I book in January. And then, we'll maybe do 10 days also in October when the schools are closed, September, October. And then December, we are often with family. So yeah, I have credits to travel. So that's where I'm going next. Hi, Nas. Hi, Nasta. Thank you. Hi, Dee. how have you, or how did you stay consistent in your come up, especially when things wouldn't have gone? How would you, or especially when things wouldn't have gone how you would have wanted to? Well, if you haven't read my book, you'll understand that I probably have had most of the things not go well in my life. There was a long period of that. Even in my adulthood, when I had journeyed through some of the childhood stuff, I still had failed businesses. I'm not without challenges, but the one thing I know for a fact is I never give up. And I just have this amazing resilience. It's the understanding that, a failed business doesn't mean I'm a failure. It's understanding that things not going well has no reflection on me as a human being or as a person. Yeah, I can take some lessons from it and say, okay, I didn't do that well, or maybe I should have, I shouldn't. But the bottom line is I take the lesson and I run with it. And I never dwell in disappointments. I don't dwell in victories either. So if I've had a victory, I'll celebrate it. If I've had a disappointment, I'll cry about it, but I'm gone the next day, like literally moving on to the next thing. But I do sit in my emotions, whatever those emotions are, and appreciate them and understand them for what they are. And then I move on, But life is full of disappointments. Life is full of, dreams that you have to, detour. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's life. That's actually what living is. It's not when all things are always going well. So yeah, it's just understanding that, because I've had a bad day or lost something doesn't mean tomorrow won't be different. And because I've had heartache doesn't mean tomorrow won't be different. Page 109 of your book spoke to me. Thank you, Lerato. About getting opportunities but not having qualifications that peers have. You are special, Sister Amanda. Thank you for sharing so much of you with us. Oh, thank you. I think Lerato is referring to a chapter that I talk about, where again, it's this process of seeing people around you and what they have and what you don't have. I mean, I had an undergraduate degree, which I've been very vocal about how hard it was to even have the money to get myself through university. But in corporate, as much as I was climbing the ladder and I had just amazing opportunities, there was always this thing at the back of my mind that, oh my gosh, I don't have a master's. If other people around me have MBAs, and oh my gosh, everybody had an MBA. But they were not going as far as I was going. So, sometimes it's amazing how much your mind just plays tricks with you, and makes you believe things that are actually not true. So again, if you just stay in your lane and appreciate your journey, for me, I had to remind myself that for me to even stand at corners of traffic lights, dishing out pamphlets, working, doing stock taking at supermarkets till 2 o'clock in the morning, doing promotions at large department stores, that took a lot for me just to get myself through university. So it's you can look at what other people have, but you haven't had the same journey as them. Our starting points are different. What moves them is different. In fact, so I think this is why I'm saying that, living authentically is appreciating your own journey and where you are and not try to be like others. In fact, there are many people who are highly successful who don't even have a university degree, So it's all about what your context is and what you believe is right for yourself and where your journey is taking you. I don't have hair to save my life, and I can't believe how often you shave and quickly grow it back. Yeah, it's like nails. Isn't it ironic though that the people who have these things and they actually don't care for them? Well, I care, but for me, hair is it's just hair. Thank God I don't like long hair. But yeah, maybe because I shave it a lot, that's why it grows back so quickly. I don't know what the logic is behind that, to be honest. Even nails, I mean, I've never put on nails. I have really strong nails and they grow so fast and I constantly have to be clipping them. But yeah, isn't it just life though, right? Let's see what you got for me. Yes, Lexi, you're from Greece. You resemble the word relentless. Yes. No, I'm like a dog with a bone. When I've told my mind, and I think, guys, we really underestimate the power of our minds. When I have told my mind something, when I've connected with something, I tell my mind and I say, this is where we're going next. And I can assure you, I don't lose focus easily. I guess, again, you know, when you haven't had plan B in your life, when you've never had anyone to run to when you're in trouble, when you've always had to be self-sufficient, you know, there's that element of, I only have myself, you know, I don't have, you know, I can't pick up a call and call my mom if I'm in trouble, or can't pay my rent, or, you know, so I've always had that work ethic that I'm in charge of my life, and between me and God, we know where I'm headed, and that's all that matters. And I know what's good for me, you know, and this is the beauty of the investment in myself. It's understanding who I am, where I've come from, and what are the things that actually really matter to me. What feeds my soul is really what I'm about. I don't care for things that don't move me. And even in my adult life, I continue to make really tough decisions that other people might be thinking, no, why would you do that? But for me, if it's not moving me, if it feels like it's no longer the most effective use of my time, I stop. So yeah. After reading, I have asked myself countless times why I'm doing this masters. No, but you maybe look back to why you started. You know, what is your why? Why did you start it? Maybe you'll find the answer there. And listen, I just support people who can give, because if it's a priority for you, if it matters for you, if it's gonna shift your life significantly, if it's more than just the certificate, more than just the paper, then go for it. But the why is very important, because it is quite a sacrifice. At this point, guys, I swear to God, anything that is taking time away from me and my family, it does not belong in my life. So I have to ensure that whatever I do, if I'm going to sacrifice time from the things that matter or the people that matter, it must then be significantly shifting my life. It mustn't be just a shift this much. It must be a seismic, it is, what's the right English? Seismic shift. Yeah, a big one. I told you about English. I don't know it very well. It must be a significant shift. And otherwise you're just wasting your time. And if you don't understand, if you have not started to understand and appreciate the value of time, and if you cannot put value to your time, then you do not understand your own value. And that is very important to understand. It's what you are giving up. What is the reward? Is it a significant shift in your life? So all the best. That's a lesson. Stay in your lane. Yes. Thank you for this, because my mind has been playing games on me with regards to my career. Yes. No, listen to your gut. I mean, I've heard this multiple times. Listen to your gut, because your gut is never going to lie to you. It's soft though. It's that silent voice. It's that nagging voice, you know. And if you are cluttered and you cannot rise above the noise, you cannot hear the silent voice. You maybe feel it, but you don't hear it. So I always say, you know, do your best to rise above the noise. Declutter your mind so that you can hear that small voice. I really believe it's God talking to us. And whatever your gut is saying, whatever your instincts are saying, that feeling that you have in the depth of your tummy, whatever that is saying, listen to that. Happy Sunday to you too. This is so true. Our journey is definitely different to the next person. It's important to concentrate on your own path. Yes, I've said that. Thank you, Lorato. Your lane is the best lane. I love how you have described opportunities in life versus tenacity of life in your description. It's resonated with me. Thank you. Sis Amanda, after traveling on your holidays, do you come back to appreciate South Africa? Do you feel like no place like home vibes? Always, every single time, without a shadow of doubt. I can go to the most exotic of destinations, to the most inspiring of places. I can assure you there is no place like South Africa. And I've often looked at, am I biased because I'm from South Africa and that I'm South African? Am I biased because this is home? But no, I've actually objectively looked at it. There is nothing we do not have. We have got the best of everything. In fact, many people come from around the globe, not just within the continent, from around the globe. They come and they set up roots in South Africa. You know, I mean, think about places like Hout Bay in Cape Town, where the entire place is literally owned by, well, actually, most of Cape Town is owned by Germans or Dutch people. You know, so there's a significant draw to this country. It's the warm weather, it's the people, it's the great food. It is the actual quality of life. It is the cost of living. The cost of living is significantly low. So even Europeans can come to South Africa and get the best of what they probably don't have, and they pay very little for it. So, but for me, it's also just that feeling of South Africa, the people, the energy of the place. You don't get this anywhere else, you know. And of course, I travel. I go to really like far places. I mean, I don't know if I've said this on any of my lives. I think I did. Last year, what year is it now? 2020. Last year, yeah, we went to Scandinavia. As in, we were in Finland. We were in Denmark, Norway, Sweden. Because I want my children to feel comfortable in the world. I want them, in fact, to go to places where they are a minority and feel comfortable in their own skin. So the more I expose them to that, the better. But you know what? We also travel in South Africa significantly as well. So you know, it's showing them the beauty of our country as well, and understanding though that if you haven't come out of the borders of your own country, your horizon is very limited. It's not expanded, and you've got tunnel vision. And that's what traveling does for me and my children. It exposes us to diversity, and we're just always seeking spice, you know, because when life is just bland and vanilla, it's no good. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, it changes your outlook, and you get to appreciate what you've got so much more. And I think my single biggest wish for South Africans is that I wish it was cheap to travel, and I wish more and more people traveled. In fact, let me take back that statement about I wish it was cheap to travel, because some people would rather buy a pair of Louboutins for 12,000 rands. That would have bought you an economy flight for 2 people to a destination. So it's not always about cheap. And if you plan earlier and you book earlier, you are able to actually get, you know, better deals because you kind of ahead of the queue. So I really wish South Africans can travel more, just outside your South African borders. So be it throughout the continent, other continents, just so that you really appreciate what you've got at home. Because most of the people that complain here are people that actually have never been anywhere. They don't know any better. Of course, we have our problems, but I just choose to focus on the positive side. I must say this live just came in and feel like I've missed out. Sorry, Spisa. It was just impromptu chat. There's no way in the world like South Africa. Absolutely. Same fly. Thank you. It's quite a beautiful issue with the glare. So if I can look cute. Sorry about that. Even simple things such as blocking someone when you realize uba azisadumi. Yeah. Get rid of negativity in whatever you do. I can't wait to read your book. I placed my order last night. Thank you very much. You should get it in the next day or two. Happy Sunday. How blessed I am listening to you on my birthday. Keep reminding me to be authentic, push even harder, stay blessed. Happy birthday, Tingiko. May you see many, many, many more. But above all of that, I hope you enjoy every moment that you have. Build great memories and embrace yourself, and happy birthday. I'll drink to that. Okay, let's see. Best African country you've traveled, Sissy? Definitely Senegal. Listen, I still have a lot of countries to cover in the continent, but I felt different in Senegal. My soul was just filled with something very special. I am definitely going back to Senegal, and I'm taking my family with. It was just the most amazing place to be. Their shopping was amazing too. Carol was quite shocked at my abilities to shop. Yeah, and I'm like, the kettle calling the pot black. The pot calling the kettle black. Yeah, one of those. Bright and fresh, you are making the things that make the pots to be done. Thank you, Linda. But I must tell you about Mozambique as well. I absolutely love Mozambique. Now, I always say to people, you can vary your experiences. For example, driving to Durban is 6 hours. Driving to Mozambique is 6 hours. So think about it, and Mozambique is relatively cheap, and the food is amazing. The seafood is incredible. So, try and vary your experience. Just first and foremost, get a passport, guys. That's just all I'm telling you is just get a passport, because you'll never know when you're going to have an opportunity to travel. And I think this traveling topic is one I'm going to have to cover on its own life, because I'm just so passionate about it, because it's not just about traveling. It is really about expanding your horizon. It is the experience. It is varying your experience, because if all you do is see a brick wall every day, your mindset is not in a good space. So it's so great to just vary with some plants, with some seeds, some flowers and, mountains and, I don't know, get up, go hiking in your own backyard, do something, go to the Drakensberg, go, and then just do something. And that's what travel does for me. That's what it does for my family. Yes. Thank you. I'm always looking dope. Thank you. Senegal on my list as well is Kenya. Yes, absolutely. Even Solomon never traveled, but still he was great king. You are not Solomon, love you. How can I get your book? Is it at any of the bookstores? No, only on my website, www.amandadambuza.com. If you're in South Africa, outside South Africa, it's Amazon.com. I would love to go to Zimbabwe and Kenya. Go for it. Why not? Sorry, guys, I'm just taking some questions. There's great comments. Thank you very much. I agree with Sis Amanda. A passport opens up your world in ways beyond just the actual physical exploring of a new place. A shift happens mentally and spiritually. No, absolutely. And I really think that that's one of the things we really have to change is encourage people to travel more. I tell you that I often tell my children that when they start, making their own cash, like big cash, then they must just spend it traveling. Seriously, there's this concept in a lot of countries, Australia, New Zealand, China, Japan, Canada, the concept of a gap year, and it's something that we don't have in South Africa. It's not a cultural, that's not part of our lives, right? Because you've come from families where you're the only hope. So gap year, you graduate or you finish high school and you do nothing for a year. But what they do is their children travel. They travel the world by themselves. Some of them get jobs as waiters, and you know, just jobs to get them going, to keep them going. But what that does is it really gives them this amazing foundation of diversity. And you know, I really don't, I can never stress it enough. It opens up your mind so much. In South Africa, we've come from even an era where, you know, just our minds are quite closed. And we need to open that up. We need to see ourselves differently. And seeing ourselves differently means we need to know we deserve to have a good life, you know. So even some people can afford to travel, they don't do it because mindset-wise, they don't believe it will add anything to them, or it's not even something that they're passionate about. Love you, sis Amanda. Ever so authentic and gracious. You really inspire me to improve myself and do better. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see some more questions. All you need is a passport. That's so profound. Mozambique is fantastic. Yeah. I really think, and everyone I meet, even if I tell every mother I meet, every father I meet, I'm like, get your children the passport. Because remember, there's also school tours, there could just be an opportunity. You might have a really talented kid who gets some kind of scholarship. You know, you don't want to now start running around looking for a passport, even though it's become very easy to get a passport, like quicker. And the Home Affairs, I must say, they've jacked up. I mean, their service is amazing. So you know, even though that is the case, you still wanna be ready. You know, there's nothing I love more than traveling. I'm actually literally, guys, I'll tell you which airline has what special when. Because I am always looking for travel deals. I'll tell you which lodge has what specials locally, which hotel has what specials. And that's because I really, like, for me, it just sets my soul on fire. Okay. Sis Amanda, do you make use of travel agents or do you research a place to visit? I book all my trips but myself. So we literally have a globe, it's over there, that we sit around a table and then we say, okay, each person will say where they would like to go. Then we work it out. Mom and dad have veto powers, but we try and accommodate everyone. And then from there, we start researching, okay, how to get there, what to do. And it all depends on what we really, you know, what's the feel of the vacation. But the kids play a significant role in determining where we go. So we try and you know, accommodate everyone's desires. And, you know, I do it myself because, well, I'm a project manager by profession, so, you know, organizing and arranging things is my thing. But also I just love the experience. For us, you know, going on vacation isn't just about getting on a flight and getting there. It's the entire experience. It's the planning. It's knowing where to catch what public transport, because when we travel, we take taxis because we have to, but we take trains, we get on buses, and there's 5 of us. And in most countries, especially like Europe, Singapore, and etc., there's no 4-4 there. If a car takes 5 people, it only takes 5 people. So you can't even say, oh, but my son is 9, he can sit on my lap. No. So we often take 2 cars or a big bus when we're traveling. But it's really nice to just get on a train, or, you know, just the navigation of how locals do things. So being at the train station, trying to figure out the connection to where you're going, buying the tickets. We take the kids through that entire experience so that when they are there by themselves, they know exactly what to do, so that it's not this big, scary world, right? I first went overseas. I went outside of South Africa before that, but like across the seas. I went when I was 26, you know, and I was old. Things were unfamiliar. But fortunately, because I love traveling, and I've always like kept my mind sharp and looking at different places, I had some familiarity even though I hadn't been there. But imagine our kids, they've been traveling since they were 4. So this thing is comfortable for them. It's natural for them, I think our first trip with them outside of the country, we went to Namibia, we went to Swakopmund, and we rode dunes, quite biking on the dunes. We rode camels. It was an amazing experience for them. So it just helps them, it enables them. So I do all my bookings. I agree with the fact that it opens up a whole new world. Even told mine to go study overseas, Europe in particular. I'm glad I came on. Didn't know about this live. Hope I didn't miss much. Always humbling sipping nuggets from you. It was a surprise. It was an impromptu one. I was pouring myself a glass of champagne, and I thought, why don't I hang out with you guys? Speak the things that be, not just as though they were. I'm doing something for myself next year to celebrate my birthday. Good for you. You know what? I must tell you, I remember when I was 35 years old, when I had, prior to turning 35, I said to myself, you know what? When I turn 35, I want to go to the south of France and Monaco. That was going to be my trip. And I said to my husband, this is it, we're going. And unfortunately, he couldn't join me because he had landed a new client in Zimbabwe, and he couldn't actually travel with me. So I was like, okay, dude, so I'll see you when I get back home. I went on a solo trip to the south of France for my 35th birthday. I went to Monaco. I went into the Monte Carlo casino, which you all see in James Bond. And I just literally, listen, I think a glass of champagne in Monte Carlo was like a lot of money. But I was like, I'm going to spend my money drinking champagne in Monte Carlo for my 35th birthday. And I was there by myself. I had the most amazing 4 days there. And I just think that you must live your life. Do the things that you want to do. Because what's the point of skimping on yourself and giving to so many others, so it's very important to keep your own dreams alive, because then it keeps the resentment away. So yeah, go for it. You must do it. Just do it. And people, it's actually not as expensive as people think traveling is, if you just plan better and you do it early. And I mean, there's even youth deals. I haven't been youth in a very long time, but there are youth deals. Best places I've visited in SA. Oh my gosh, all around SA. I love the Garden Route. I love Mpumalanga, God's Window. I love Limpopo, Bela Bela. I mean, I used to have a lodge there, and then the Dahlstrom side, we're building our vacation home that side. So we just love it. And I mean, KZN is KZN. And I grew up in the Transkei, so south of it, on the border of KZN and the Eastern Cape. Beautiful, beautiful landscapes. So yeah, I mean, geez, even here, I mean, Joburg, sometimes we just decide on a Friday we're going to go to Magaliesburg and stay somewhere for the weekend. Or just get in a car and go to Meldelsdrift and stay in overnight, So there's just so much that this country has to offer. It's just everywhere is beautiful. We need a full travel live session, please. The navigation is so exciting, and you equipping your children for life. Yeah. If you could disinvent one thing, what would it be and why? Disinvent. So let me just can you ask that question again? Just give me a little more context so that I answer properly. You will truly experience the first world when you experience overseas travel. Yeah, first world, but also really third world of the first world, because this is the point I was making, that actually, people like to think that because it's Europe, everything works. Not really. It's not all like that. I mean, I remember we were in Rome, and the biggest potholes I've ever seen in my life, even bigger than our potholes. And then people are like, first world. I was like, yeah. Sometimes this thing is a scam, actually. I chose this, Amanda, please put together a guide for us. We were planning a trip for the end of the year, and I felt so overwhelmed by everything that needed to be arranged. You seem to have it down. No, I do. Actually, I really do. I really do. Because I just love it. And this is the thing, though, when you're passionate about something, it comes together quickly. But I must tell you, one of the tricks I do is I use booking.com for all of my accommodation bookings. But what I do, I check where I want to stay, and then I'll go check directly the hotel website what the price is, and then I compare to booking.com. And sometimes I also use another site, but booking.com is my primary. Then I work out, okay, what is the price difference? Because there's usually a price difference for exactly the same room. And I always go with the cheapest. But booking.com, I always go with the free cancellation bookings. They might be slightly more expensive, but you've got a little flexibility. You can wiggle. So if your plans change, you can cancel for free. But for me, that allows me, you know, I'm able to compare prices. So of course it takes time, but if you're enjoying it, if you just the prospect of traveling for me gets me going. Maybe that's why I'm feeling on the edge right now, because I'm not traveling, and it's just like, what, no. Dealing with the language barrier while being in a foreign land will also teach you things about yourself you didn't know or like to know. Absolutely. And listen, I say that if you can speak, you can say a hello and just speak normal broken English, a lot of people will hear you. France is very different. The people in France, they're not very forthcoming if you don't speak their language. But fortunately, our kids have been learning French since they were in grade 2. So they help us navigate when we are in French-speaking countries. My husband also did French. He went to Wits business school, language school, and did French a couple of years ago because his clients, he had clients in Mauritius, so he was trying to converse with them. Try having a 43-year-old at the time doing French, a Xhosa speaking 43-year-old man doing French. It was funny. Let's just say it never went anywhere. He finished, but he doesn't know anything about French. So I mean, luckily now there's also resources on the internet, so you can actually have apps that will help you translate what you want to say. So but I think this is the other thing that's quite comfortable with some of the European countries, is that the language factor isn't always a barrier. And when we went to Scandinavia, and as much as they always say Scandinavian people are quite cold and not welcoming, we didn't experience that at all. And we spoke, most of them spoke English, and they were very forthcoming when we needed help. But I think that's part of the adventure though as well. It's not knowing what you're gonna find. It's not knowing what's there. It's not knowing what, getting lost for us is part of the adventure. We love getting lost, and we love just getting, literally, when we arrive in a place, the only thing we do is put our bags down and maybe freshen up depending on how long the flight was. And we put on our walking shoes and we're gone. And we come back more tired than when we went. But we also we enjoy them for a short period. We are restless travelers. So vacations where we do nothing are not our kind of vacations. So when was it? Last July we went to Zanzibar and we lay there for 9 days. It was excruciatingly painful towards the end because we were all like, okay, so is this it? Because there's nothing to do in Zanzibar. You go to Stone Town, and then that's it. So we vowed to ourselves, if we have the difference, I guess, is that a place like Mauritius, you could do 9 days because there's so much more to do. But Zanzibar was hard for us for that long. But we enjoyed ourselves. The food was amazing. We were so well looked after at this hotel. I'm running out of time here, but I'm going to open another one because, well, I've got the time. Now I know why my mom would say put a well-traveled individual next to one who hasn't. Yeah, you'll see the difference. Let me open another one, guys, and you can ask me questions. All right. Thank you.